a former Disney star is sparking controversy now with an AI app that lets you speak to dead relatives in avatar form. So this is the guy. So the guy's name is, he's a former Disney Channel actor, Calum Worthy. He sparks this controversy because this new AI app. It's called TWA or TWAI, I guess. I don't know if you say that together, but it's 2WAI, which allows people to create digital avatars of their deceased loved ones. And so he put this ad out that I guess he's acting in the ad. And this is let's play you guys the actual ad and then we'll discuss it. But it's certainly getting not the greatest reactions. And I'll say this, Jay, not the greatest reactions from people here in Hollywood, people that generally don't have anything to say about anything and haven't been paying attention to anything. They don't watch our show, that's for sure. But this was so bad, it got them out of their little caves, and they said, wait a minute, something seems a little off about this. So check it out, guys. Here it is. And if it gets cut in post, we'll just talk about it anyways. But if you're watching live, you get to watch it live. Here we go.
He's getting bigger. See?
Oh, honey, that's wonderful.
Kicking like crazy.
He's listening. Put your hand on your tummy and hum to him. You used to love that.
It feels like he's dancing in there.
Oh, honey.
Mom, would you tell Charlie that bedtime story you always used to tell me?
Once upon a time, there was a baby unicorn who didn't know he knew how to fly. This baby unicorn was like your mom because she didn't know that she knew how to fly, but she knew how to do all kinds of fabulous things.
Hi, Grandma.
Hey, Charlie. How was school today?
It was really fun. I made this crazy shot in basketball.
I don't really care that much about basketball. What about the crush?
Stop. Grandma, stop talking.
Just tell me one thing.
Look who's gonna be a great grandmother.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, congratulations.
She says that he's been kicking a lot, though. Like, a little too much.
Tell her to put her hand on her tummy and hum to him. You loved that.
You would have loved this moment.
You can call anytime.
That's scary in so many ways.
Okay, Mom, I just need a quick video.
Is this like an audition or something?
No, Mom. Just 3 minutes.
You need my best side?
Can I see another one?
I can play the piano.
She's so talented.
I am. I'm your mother after all.
Keep going. Why don't you start by telling us...
That's their tagline with 2WAI or whatever the hell you call it. 3 minutes can last forever. This is
what I
really
want people
bad.
to think about. Number one, it actually prevents you from building real relationships, with other people that are here. Because if you spend your time talking to someone who isn't around, but an AI, I guess, impression of what they think they're like, it's actually going to prevent you from, because there's an opportunity cost for everything. Like, I don't have time to keep up with, all of my friends. Like, I don't get to speak with them as much as I would like to already as it is, because I have other things going on. If you're spending your time like talking to people who are no longer here, there's an opportunity cost to that. But the scarier part of that is, a lot of people may have a family member, right, that they go to for advice. Like, maybe there's 1 or 2 people in the family who, know about politics more than other parts of the family, and they're going to go to them to ask for advice. JFK, for example, was a Democrat his whole career. RFK Jr., before he joined the Trump campaign, said that his uncle wouldn't recognize the Democratic Party of today. But if you had an AI picture of or AI, program that was using JFK, the people who wrote that program take money from the Democratic Party, well, they could tell you, no. JFK would have always told you to support the Democrats no matter what they did. And it doesn't matter if they no longer stay true to their progressive values. So if an election is coming up and you don't pay that much attention to politics, and the person who you used to go to for political advice is no longer here, well, maybe you just ask the app and see what the app thinks. And the app can tell you, yeah, just vote for the Democrats or just vote for the Republicans, never vote third party. So people evolve over time, right? People should change their opinions as they're introduced to new facts. The AI isn't going to evolve, is it? And is it going to evolve in a way that is organic, or is it going to evolve in a way that benefits the people controlling it? So emotionally manipulative. And of course, they can use it to push whatever agenda they want because they control the voice of people who you love and trust now.
And that's a great point, Jay. And you could do that. You could do a hypothetical like COVID part 2. You could bring up somebody like I think of George Carlin, because I remember how many times because everybody loves George Carlin. I remember talking about people telling people during COVID how much bullshit the lockdowns were and the mandates, and said George Carlin would be completely against it. They go, no, he wouldn't. He would tell you to get in line. I go, okay, so you're right. Like, you could take somebody and make them serve the purpose of the messaging of the state narrative, and then they would be right. If we lived in this time now, the COVID 2020 time, and you had this ability, the person I was arguing at the time could just whip out a George Carlin and say, see, Matt, he did tell you to shut up and get in line. So you're wrong, Matt. So shut up. But see, so it's very manipulative. It's very dishonest, and it's another way to control us. I'm going to go even to another part of this that I think might be even more important, because let's get out of the world politics and the celebrity part of this. Let's go back to the family unit. And when I watched this ad, you know what really, really strikes me, I think the hardest part to watch, because I've seen it a few times now, is when that grandma is telling the 10-year-old, she interrupts him. He's saying, I want to tell you about the scoring. I scored in basketball. And the AI grandma tells the grandchild, I don't want to hear about basketball. I want to hear about that crush. And I'm like, wait, 10-year-old Charlie is trying to tell his because how much does 10-year-old Charlie understand about grandma not being here? Having you have a relationship with this person now. You've had your whole life from a baby, 10 years of your entire life now, and you want to tell grandma about how you scored in basketball game, but yet the 3-minute video, now think about this, the 3-minute video that grandma made before she died, she goes, can I do this? And it's an audition. In that 3-minute, you're telling me that the AI decided that grandma doesn't like basketball and was more interested in talking to a 10-year-old about sex? What the F is that? And why is that in the commercial? I'm absolutely appalled and disgusted by that. And it makes me think that particular grandma character was very excited. What about a grandma who's not excited to do this? Come on, grandma. I just need 3 minutes. I don't know if I'm comfortable with this. No. It'll be good. You're going to die soon. You terminal, right? Remember, you have your will. We got your will. We got all the end of life stuff worked out. I just need you for 3 minutes. Little Billy's going to love it. And then you're going to go and pull that shit. How does the AI, by the way, back to the basketball thing. How does the AI know that grandma didn't like basketball? And that's just an example. Yeah. So I have a lot of questions about this. And about the misuse of this and the family dynamics. And on top of that, the abuse that could come from this, abuse from a dead relative to a child. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw the other day, but, Tesla and Grok got into a little bit of trouble because the kid was literally asking like Grok about sports, right? And Grok somehow wound up asking the kid to send him nudes, I don't know if you saw that video, but so it's like the AIs just do weird things sometimes, man. And like at the end of the day, even if you're not interested in something half the time, maybe you pretend to be because it's a little kid. Like, you know, you may not be the biggest basketball fan, but if you care about your grandson and your grandson had a really good game in basketball, and he wants to tell you about it. Like, oh, what happened in the basketball game? Oh, did you make a touchdown? That's she might say, like, no, grandma, that's not how it works. We shoot hoops over there. So it's like, but instead they shut all that down. No, let's not talk about your dreams and your hopes and all that. You know, let's talk about
a
I
10-year-old
know,
crush?
like a grandma who may not know that much about sports. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, like we have to ask ourselves, and again, it's the opportunity cost, man. You're spending your time talking to a robot instead of spending that time building relationships with people that are actually here. And
that's another
it's just
great point.
another way to immerse you in a digital world that doesn't exist.
And you're confusing a child who doesn't know any better, did not live in the world we live in, so has nothing to compare it to. And like that 10-year-old is going to have the entire life with that grandma who wants to talk about what girl do you want to like flirt with at 10 years. I'm stuck on that one. Why is that in? It's so weird. It's so weird. They went with the 10-year-old crush and the abruptness of interrupting. I mean, I'm like, is the red eyes going to start? I said, tell me about the crush. It's like, what kind of evil monster is being created here? And by the way, one more thing. That grandma was very nice and sweet. And is this an audition? What about an abusive grandparent? What about a very dark and twisted grandparent? What if little Billy is happy that Uncle Joe is dead and doesn't want Uncle Joe around anymore? What about that?
And you know, and I know of someone recently who was in an abusive situation, and you know, her child didn't really understand like what was going on between the father and the mother, and the child wanted to, you know, speak more to the father, right, and hang out more with the father because they miss the father. Well, then what happens now if that child like gets access to an AI version of this person, you know, like who is a toxic person? Like is the AI going to continue on that toxicity of someone who God may have taken from this earth because that was part of the plan and that person no longer had a purpose here? I mean, you know, there's so many problems that arise from this, man. Like we're all here for a specific amount of time, you know, for a reason, and maybe science finds ways to extend that. And if that's what happens, that's what happens. But you can't just copy someone's image and like put it into AI. I think that's dangerous. But again, this goes along with the theme of what we've been seeing, because just like you pointed out the other day, Tom Hanks has no problem with AI actors of dead people taking the jobs of actors who were trying to now become the next Tom Hanks. He has no issue with that. He doesn't care about that. And, you know, what you mentioned about the sexuality of it all, again, it's a common thing. Like I just saw a Fox News poll the other day describing women, not girls, but women from age 15 to, what is it, like 35 in a poll. And I'm thinking to myself, well, wouldn't she technically be a girl or a teenager? I thought you become a man or a woman once you're an adult. And there's no state in this country where you were considered an adult at 15 years old. But in the Fox News poll, they just slid it in there. Woman from ages 15 to 35.
Wow. I mean, and you know, there's been a lot of just back to this thing. I know there's pushback happening. We're seeing it all over the here in LA. People do not like this, and that's good. That's good. We're not in a very small camp here. I think we're having a very intellectual discussion about it, and all the layers that are involved. But I think that people who maybe just they're at first glance, they got a bad taste in their mouth about this, and that's good. That's really, really good. And I hope this doesn't have any of the long lasting elements that they are hoping for. They want to make a ton of money off of this, and that ad they obviously spent a long time on. But I'm telling you guys, like if your instinct was like ours, then you still are in touch with your humanity, and that's what we want here on this show. And this is from Hustle Bitch. I'll just say, you know, reporting on this guy, and this, you know, this guy's name, what is his name again?
It's
Yeah,
cut
it
off
was-
a little bit on my screen. I can only see the line starting at C. I don't know if it looks like that on your screen.
Oh no, I got the whole thing. But he's saying in the middle, he's saying the ad literally shows a woman interacting with the digital clone of her dead mother. Not a memory, not a photo, a living, talking AI reconstruction of the dead. And gets darker. The young son starts chatting with the AI grandma, and the app is able to carry those conversations on for decades, long after the real woman is gone. The company, this company calls this a living archive of humanity. But think about what that really means. Your grief becomes data. Your family becomes a program. Your dead relatives become software for a corporation which owns it forever. Would you ever let your kid talk to an AI version of a dead family member? And it's a great question we all should go home with and think about. But yeah, we need to share this one out, guys, and let people know that this is what's on. This is what's
and I
on
just
the
want
docket.
people to remember,
Yeah.
a lot of people evolve over time. I had a family member who was a big fan of Rachel Maddow, at one point, right? And as time went on, the reason why they stopped liking Rachel Maddow is because every time I would talk to them about politics, they would tell me what they heard on Rachel Maddow and think that they know what's going on. And I would tell them what's really happening, specifically on the Ukraine war. And then they realize, oh, wow. So she is a liar. She is bullshitting. And then that person no longer liked Rachel Maddow. But if that person had, unfortunately, something had happened before they made that evolution, the AI wasn't going to remember the evolution of that person. So that's why one of the reasons this is so dangerous. Computers can't understand us. Like, computers are not nearly the same as the human mind. And it's not close. I know people think AGI is coming, and I'm not the expert in it. I'll admit that. But when I know about all the different factors that go into the human body and the human brain, like, we're just different. Consciousness is different. We have an aura and an energy. And like, now the double slit experiment proves that humanity and consciousness is different from data in machines. Because for those who don't know what the double slit experiment is, they shoot a ray of light through two slits to see how the light reacts. And when nobody is watching when people are watching it, the light acts as a ray of protons. So, or whatever the light particles are, it goes straight out in dots. But when nobody's watching it, the same ray now acts as a wave. So that means it literally acts differently depending on whether or not it's being observed. So if you never heard of that, Matt, go check it out. It's the double slit experiment. And that shows you that consciousness is different from anything else. So that's why I personally don't believe that we can replicate consciousness with machines. So it's scary, and again, it just takes us more out of the real world. And that's one of our biggest problems right now. On the one hand, we're finding out more about what's happening in the world with technology. Some of us, a lot of people learn, a lot of people are stuck in the same loop, but a lot of us are too sucked into technology and we're losing our humanity. So if we can find that happy medium, we're good. This AI is not part of that happy medium.